Welcome to Mind-Blowing Energy and You, bringing the woo-woo to everyday living. I'm your host, Lynn Profit, an energy and life coach at Living Currents Energy and Life Coaching. Mind-Blowing Energy and You is a show that brings what used to be new age or woo-woo to the forefront of how we live every day. Past and current research has shown us that we're not only made up of energy, but so is our entire world. And there's so much more to who we are and the lives that we live. So let's get living in the unlimited world of energy. And right now you can go to livingcurrents.com to receive your free meditation to help you live a life based in who you really are. And before we begin today, I just want to do a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Chime for Healing, handcrafted wind chimes tuned to healing frequencies. See a Chime for Healing at chimeforhealing.ca. So today we have an awesome guest. We are chatting with Myrna Brown with Myrna Brown Fung Shui out of Calgary. Myrna is a Feng Shui consultant and Feng Shui teacher. So welcome to the show, Myrna. We're so happy that you're here today.
I'm very thrilled to be with you today too, Lynn. Thank you.
Well, I honestly don't know that much about Feng Shui, so I thought you would make an absolutely incredible guest because I have so many questions.
Awesome.
How about we start with what exactly is Feng Shui?
Great question, and I'm going to make it as condensed and simplified as possible for you. There is an area in your home that relates to an area of your life. So all areas of your life can be adjusted and treated and change the way you feel about yourself, what you're creating in the world, your health. So as a quick example is there's an area in your home that relates to your love relationship. And there's another area in your home that relates to your health. So there is an area for every part of your life that is related to your home or your office. And the cool thing about it is that we can adjust these spaces and drive change in our life in whatever it is that we're looking for.
Wow. So because I mean, when I think of Feng Shui, I think of, moving my furniture around or cleaning my house, which some days is more challenging than others. But
yeah,
is there more than just moving your furniture around to change that?
Yes, absolutely. Now that's part of it, certainly, for some situations. But it's also looking at the space. So the things like the shapes of your rooms influence you and impact you. The colors that you're choosing and putting up on your walls are going to be influencing and impacting you. So that's positively or negatively. Where you're placing your furniture, what your furniture looks like, your artwork, where you're putting it, what it looks like as well. All these things are whispering to us all the time and telling us something about ourselves. And they're also, helping us or they're hurting us. And so it's important that we know what's going on. So when we enter a space, a simple thing to ask is like, do I love this space? Like, do I feel good in it? And if you do, that's probably some good feng shui in that space that you're in. But if you feel fatigued or tired or, chaotic, confused, like hard to focus, there's probably things that need addressing in that space that you're spending time in. And recognize too that the spaces that you spend the most time in, so that's your home, your workspace, that's the spaces that really have the most influence on you. Going out to a restaurant or a hotel or whatever for a few days, those kind of short vacations, those don't really impact us that much. It's the spaces we spend our time. And those are the ones that we can change and make our lives superior, right?
Oh, wow. Like now when you say like the shape of your room, like my office here is, well, it's a square and it's not going to change. So,
Right.
like when you're talking about the shape of the room, you know,
Mhm.
like I said, I'm in a square box here, and is it going to make a big difference that like where my desk is, you know,
Yep.
I'm not sure what the color of my walls mean to you, but
Exactly.
or is it more about how I feel about it?
Well, so good comment. Always, if I ever recommend something and you hate it, that is not good feng shui. So, feng shui is about creating space you love,
Oh,
right? Then you feel different in this space. And there's also things that are important to also know about. So, a nice square room is fantastic. It's when we have rooms that have jut outs and jut ins that start cause problems. If there's beams above our head, kind of a bit more force pushes down on us. It's like oppressive energy,
no.
right? Affects us. So beams are okay in a home, but you just don't want to be sitting under them or sleeping under them on a regular basis, right?
Right.
Things over time that build up and change who we are and how we are. So it's also really great to have windows in a room, but not too many windows. So it's you kind of looking at a big picture. And again, for color, it's what do you love? That color around you. And then if you're trying to drive a change in your life using feng shui, then there's colors that are better in certain areas, right? Our prosperity area, one of the colors, there's a few, but one of the colors we love in the prosperity area is purple.
Oh, okay.
Rich, right? And then, the relationship area for like our spouse relationship marriage area, that area obviously is going to be red, but also pinks and whites, right? So there's multiple colors you can pick from, but those are enhancements only if we're looking to enhance that part of our life. Otherwise, what do you love? That's going to be an important part of a conversation that you were to have with a feng shui person ever, right? What do you love?
Yeah. Okay. So then it's, I guess, in a sense, partly, if you want to call them rules of feng shui,
Yeah.
and partly the person and the individual themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I did not know that.
It's a dance. It's a lovely dance, right? Because it's your space. It should have your personality in it.
Right.
And it should give you that boost of energy, that feeling that, oh, I'm home, right? This is my space to create. And yeah, where you place your desk in your office is important, and your furniture. It's are you hiding? Are you hiding in your life? Are you hiding, right? Like these things are all important, right?
That's interesting. Yeah, because like I said, I always thought feng shui was, don't have a mirror in front of, I don't know, your bed or your door or something, and all these other rules. But I didn't get that there was the component of the person. But now that I'm talking to you even more, and even just discussing colors alone, just because of my energy work, understanding the frequency of the colors and the impact they have on you as well. Mm-hmm. So almost even in a sense, specific colors are going to change your frequency.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm following this now. I still haven't tied the frequency changes to the direction of my furniture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about creating the space more so?
So your furnishings, the important furnishings in your life are your desk, and this is in feng shui terms, your bed, and things like your kitchen, there's some pieces in there. But for example, if you are, I hate to use this one, but I'm going to, but if you're a mafia boss and you go into a restaurant, where is he going to sit, that mafia boss? He's going to be far back in that restaurant. He's going to have his back against a solid wall so he can see what's going on, right? Yep. And that is such a feng shui principle for us, is that when we're in these important positions, like when we're sleeping, we're at our most vulnerable. or we're working and we're needed to focus and create our amazing work, we need to be far back in a room. We need to be facing the door, see what's coming, right? Even if we live alone and work alone in a building and in our office space, it's really important that we have these things right, because subconsciously we can be waiting for someone to walk through the door or whatever, right? Like, it's just challenging on us to do that awesome work, to get that deep sleep. So it's setting ourselves up for success so that we can really thrive in our lives. So it's about a bit about healing. It's a little bit about productivity. It's a bit about, it's like making sure we're in the best possible space for ourselves that serves us to our best.
Yeah, I still have so many questions for you because now I'm wondering, okay, so my desk is actually kind of, the way I usually face would be facing a wall.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden now I'm thinking, okay, does that mean that it's almost like there's a wall in front of me for my business?
Yeah, so yeah, we have so many metaphors in our life, but I would want any entrepreneur or someone who has an office space to be sitting so that they can see the door when they're sitting down at their desk. That's important. And get back up as far as they can into their room. Now, sometimes we can't do that, right? Sometimes we have to share space with others. Sometimes we have to, have a shared space with like a multi-purpose room. We don't have the luxury of having our own office. We have to share space with the bedroom. That's where we work as well. Or we have to have that dining room is also our office space, right? But when we're facing a wall, if we don't have something with depth that we can look at, like a beautiful landscape, like that would be beneficial. If that's our only choice, that we look up into a wall, put something on that wall that's expansive, something you like. Always,
yes. Okay.
Got to be something you like, but something inspiring, something that feels good to you. Nature pictures are fantastic for that, right? Depth, water, greenness. It does something to our vibration, like it changes who we are too, right? So important to be outside, and if you can't be outside, look at it, right? Yeah. Inspiration is drawn from that, right? So there's always a feng shui adjustment that you can do for a sort of a negative situation. There's always something you can do. So if you can't have your desk in the gold standard way, then what do we do next? What do we do next to make it better? Make it better always, right?
Okay, and so that's how you work with your clients.
Yes.
So do you do I guess in a sense, almost like a personal assessment with them to determine what they like, where they are?
Totally.
And start moving furniture?
Yeah. Sometimes we don't actually move anything.
Good.
Yeah. There's an assessment we do. And, I go over, we have an energetic map, and this map tells me where that person's prosperity area is in their home, or their health area, or their children's area. So like I was saying at the very beginning, this map tells me there's an area in their home for every life situation that they're having. And, they usually approach me or contact me because they want to have some change in their life on, one or two different things even. Mm-hmm. And so I have an assessment we go through, and it helps them identify, this is what I'd like change in, my health or my family or whatever it is. And then from there, we look at the floor plans, we have a conversation, and I go through their place either virtually or live, depends where they live. And, then we start the process and start creating some change. And lots of times it's just some simple little adjustments, and it's so powerful. So powerful, a small change in your life like that. And like when I was telling you earlier, we spoke before this, I used to work in research. And so it was, a small adjustment in my chemical reaction, huge different result.
Right.
Small changes down there. Same with my feng shui, right? Small change in a single room can be profound for some people. It just is, it just drives change.
Yeah. So, because kind of what we talked about before too was, I guess in a sense would doing feng shui create that intent, and then that intent actually then shifts the energy.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And that's another huge driving factor with feng shui is that I can tell you, move this thing, add this color, whatever I'm going to tell you to do to change your space for you. And if you don't really buy into the whole feng shui thing, that adjustment that you've made, you'll probably get some results from it,
right?
But it will not be as impactful as, my client that will be, let's do this. I want to see some change in my life. And I give them the adjustment and they're like, I could just feel the change already happening. And those clients get such remarkable results. And it's the law of attraction is like, approaching me, wanting that change, doing the change. The change itself is just a physical marker, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the energy behind it that really drives the change.
Wow, that is so interesting. And Myrna, just to make sure I get this right, so you do people's homes or living space, but you also do offices?
Yeah.
And workspace kind of?
Yeah. Corporate stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would think everybody would want you in there. It's like, wow, if business can skyrocket just by bringing in Myrna and moving some furniture, let's go.
Yeah, I've got some good stories for that. Yeah, I did an office in downtown, and it was a nice office, but you can do a lot in one room if that's the space you have versus a whole house. Imagine, right? You can make a lot of changes, small changes. And after I was finished that office space, this gentleman won a trip to Bermuda. Had more clients coming in the door. His relationships with his colleagues and staff improved. Like it just, it's like a harmonic thing that we create, and then it just, life flows then.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And, just even what you're talking about, the resonance and the change, and then what you're attracting in, and it all ties together. And, in some ways it does seem so simple. And yet, like for myself, even understanding energy to a fair point, I would not know what to do with the house other than maybe clean. But
well, and that's important too, right?
Well, I was going to say, do fur balls and other piles of fur, do they fit into feng shui anywhere?
Well, let's get them out of here. No.
Yeah. Oh, They're...
And you know what? And I'm also about being able to live in your space, because that's important. I have piles on my desk that I will not be showing you this moment in time, but I'm working on these things. And it's, my house is not this place where I can't relax.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's who we are. We need to feather our nest. We need to have stuff around us that we love, and recognize too, though, when it gets to be too much, or it's not organized, or we don't love it anymore and it's time to let it go. So let it go, because if we don't have space in our homes, we don't have space in our lives for anything new. We don't have space in our office file cabinets. We don't have space for new clients. We have to make sure that there is a balance of spaciousness as well as, stuff that's going on too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And just like what I hear you saying is actually for, all of us, like even say, you've been into somebody's home and helped them, it's them continuing on with the awareness.
Yeah, and I like to educate them too, so that they, I'm not just a one-off kind of thing, so that people understand a bit more about feng shui. And that's actually a bit of my passion that's driving me right now, is to educate and let people know a little bit more about feng shui so they can take the reins themselves. And it's like a lifelong way to live, because things change in your life. And I took feng shui out of interest, just a general interest course, and then it got me, and I dealt with it. But the first thing I did was I feng shuied my career area of my home, because I had no clarity about my next career. I didn't know what I wanted to do, And that's what I did. I feng shuied this area called the career or the life path area. And then, within a few weeks, somebody phoned me and asked, do you want to put on a workshop with me? And I was like,
wow,
I'm in business. And evolved, right? So, but, and then that's years ago. And just, recently my son, he had mono. So I feng shuied my health area for him, right? To activate it and get it going again. And he was on the sprinting team for his high school. And he had this mono, which can take you out for months. And then he had the mildest episode of mono. So he actually ran in the relay team's race.
Wow.
The team won silver. It was their personal best ever. But it's like, I didn't get rid of the mono, but man, reduced that thing. Amazing, right? So you just move around your life with your feng shui. And I would like that for everyone, that they can, my relationships need some help. I can do something about that. My health is, not as good as it could be. I can do something about that. My career, right? My family, my children, right? Like it's a dance that we can all be doing.
Wow. Like I said, Myrna, I can guarantee you this will not be your only moments with me because I still have so many questions. But is there something simple that like any of our listeners or myself could just do just for a general shift, say?
Yes. We talk about the mouth of chi, which is your front entry. Mm-hmm. One of the 3 pillars of your home that is so impactful. So you want all this good energy coming up your front door and into it. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a place where you can get the checklist, see if you've got those things going on. But if you don't need that right now, it is make sure you can open that front door freely. It opens all the way. It's not making any creepy noises, like oil it, right? Okay. And that it's bright, it's brightly lit. Those are some of the things that are on my checklist so that into your home can enter all these opportunities, all this good energy. Yeah, but that's on my website. So if they want more information, they can get that from there too.
Yeah. And you know what, honestly, Myrna, we covered quite a bit today. And like I said, we will have you back again, definitely. But if any of our listeners did want to find out more about what you do or look at becoming a client, where can they find more information about you?
So my website, and it's myrnabrown.com.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Myrna, for sharing such amazing information. And yeah, I thought I had questions before. Now I have even more. But it has certainly been a pleasure having you here today. And I will include Myrna's information at the closing of the podcast here, so you can take a look at that. And thank you so much for listening. I'm your host, Lynn Prophet, and make sure to join us next week for another mind-blowing energy and you episode. And don't forget to go to the website for your free meditation at livingcurrents.com.